Hi there.
I'm Josh.
I'm out.
How you doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for chatting with us today for Josh at the Movies. We're really excited to talk to you about the final season of Locke Key and a couple of your other projects.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
So you've been part of the Locke Key journey since 2017's Hulu version of the show. Can you talk to us about the original pilot of that and what made it different from the Netflix version?
Wow, it's a good question, by the way. Wow. They were both directed very two different ways. Like the Netflix series, each episode was directed by a different director, so it was always different. But what I think set the Hulu version out different than the Netflix series was because Andy Muschietti, who directed it, was directing that. He made it a lot more darker, a lot more like the comics than the Netflix version. It was intended to be, but then Netflix wanted to change it up so it was more of a family-friendly type show. But I think those are probably the main two differences in them, but I both think that they did an amazing job, and I'm very happy with the Netflix version, but also or two, and I also would have loved to see in a darker version as well.
I mean, the show ended up being great, and I'm glad that it worked out, and the cast is awesome. So
thank you so much. I appreciate that.
So out of all the keys in the show throughout the 3 seasons and their various functions, which one was your favorite? And is there any you wish you could have had more scenes with?
Well, first, my favorite key, it used to be the Anywhere key, and I still really do love the Anywhere key, but I now, as I got older, I just thought that the head key is actually really, really cool because you can like imagine anything you want and you're in like your own like dream, like your perfect dream, because it's your head and it's everything, every memory, it's your happy place basically. And basically I think that is really, really cool. Even though that I think that Anywhere is pretty cool, but the only downside is like you can only travel to places that like have like doors. So like there could be like an awesome place. And there are a lot of doors in the world, don't get me wrong. But you know, it's always tough, you know, to imagine that door. You know, you have to look it up on Google and be like, okay, where's a Google to Hawaii? And then you gotta find the perfect door, maybe a hotel room door or something. It definitely like it takes away travel costs and travel time. Very, very useful. But why not just, you know, have all that inside your head instead? And then like I think maybe like, and this is just hypothetical, I don't know this, but maybe, you know, because it's your head, you could just like imagine any food and it comes to you.
Oh my god, I wish.
Yes.
You know, I don't know if that's how that works, but if it does, because it is your head, that would be very, very cool and make it a plus. So yeah, I just have to say that the head key was my favorite. But for people I would have loved to have more screen time with, I would have loved to have more screen time with, I would have to say probably Dodge. I know that, you know, I was possessed by Dodge, so I guess we do see Dodge, but I would have loved to see like Dodge as like a Laisla who plays Dodge, like the female version. Laisla, sorry. She plays the female Dodge, and I think she does it really, really well. It would have been really, really, really fun for her to like come back as the real Dodge in season 3, not just being possessed by Dodge. I'd like to see more of her because she plays Dodge really, really well.
On a similar note from you being possessed by Dodge, you also played the evil version of Georgie in It, and then that therapy scene in The Prodigy.
Oh, yeah.
You play a scary version of yourself pretty well. So I was wondering, what's your favorite part of tapping into these darker places as an actor?
Of course, you know, I'm just a regular kid, so I make sure, you know, there was actually for The Prodigy with that therapist scene that happened, there's actually like a mental like evaluator or like a therapist, like a real therapist that was like there to like check in on me and make sure I'm okay. And like, I was like, yeah, I'm fine through all this because, you know, with tapping into that dark side with me, I try and make sure that when I'm acting, and when I'm not acting, and when we say cut, that I'm Jackson. I know, of course, there's definitely different like methods of acting, but that is just mine because I think, you know, I'm not necessarily saying that it's easier for me to go into that stuff, but as a kid, I was kind of trained by my parents to, you know, do a certain role or a certain character. Like if he's evil, like Miles was in The Prodigy. My mom is actually my biggest acting coach, I'd have to say. She is my influence in acting. And of course, it wasn't like she pushed acting on me at all. I was the one who wanted to do it, but she has supported me throughout everything. And she actually started to be an actor, but she gave her career to me, which I'm so grateful for. And I'm forever in her debt. So, and she's my acting coach. So as I was saying, she tells me, you know, when I'm playing that type of evil role, I want to make sure to be scary, and she'll try and like act it out for me so I can sort of get like a feeling of what tone is like the best for this character. But then once the cameras stop rolling, you know, I'm just a normal kid, you know, and I just try and have fun on set because I think it's, you know, it's not healthy, you know, to be that kind of thing. You know, I think it's bad for your brain, you know. It's like, and not like it's like unhealthy, but just like it isn't really a good mentality to have, you know. So I think I'm very grateful for my parents to be, you know, my acting coach, but to play that certain role, it is very, very tough, I would say, because it is different than, you know, drama and all that stuff, because you really have to sell it. Because if you're not scary, then it isn't a scary movie at all.
That's true.
True.
So the time shift key was obviously a major plot point for the season. The chance for the entire family to see Renda one last time was also a beautiful way to come full circle. Which flashback was the most fun to film for you?
Well, first off, I just want to say, I have no clue why they didn't just go to the well house and make him an echo. All right. First off, I think that was completely stupid because it's not like echoes are evil. Echoes are like, as we saw in season 2 with Lucas, like they can be totally like normal and good. So it's not like you put in an echo and they're automatically a demon. It isn't like that at all. So I have no clue why they didn't just bring him back. You know, as you were saying with, you know, what was my favorite time shift key, there's a lot. I would kind of be lying if I didn't say with Bill, who plays Brendel, my dad. He was such a kind man and such a kind person to be around and such a great dad. And I'm so sad that we didn't get to act with him more because he is such an amazing person. So I'm so glad that I got to be able to see him one more time before we part ways, you know, not just in the show, but in real life. Yeah, I'd have to say that was my favorite, you know, being able to get to see him one last time with the whole like family, you know. I thought that was really special. But I also really did like, I went back in time to the 1700s and saw the Harlequin chest. That was pretty cool. I like that a lot. But yeah, I definitely liked reuniting the whole family one last time a whole lot more.
What was the energy like for the final day on set of Locke and Key, and were you emotional having to say goodbye to Bode Locke?
Well, the mood was definitely, it was exciting, not because it was the last day, but, you know, because we've finally finished this amazing product. But it was also really, really sad. It was exciting during the day, but as we got closer and closer to the next scene or the last scene that we had to shoot, the mood kind of got more down. And it was really sad. I did get emotional. I didn't like cry or anything. I'm being honest. I promise. I'm not just saying that to look up. I didn't cry. I think some people did. I forgot. It's because it was so long ago. It was definitely a sad day, but it was probably one of the best days because we made the most of it.
So Josh and I both really adored Gossamer Folds, and your work in that was just
Oh,
magnificent.
thank you. Thank you so much.
It was so cute. What was your biggest takeaway from that movie? Did you get to keep the pocket dictionary?
I didn't, sadly. But my biggest takeaway, probably don't judge others before you get to know them, you know? I think that's a big problem with today's society, you know? We don't really, we just look at a person and we judge them, and we don't even have the time to like really get to know them, because maybe they might look a certain way and society teaches us that there's a certain way that we all have to look, and everything becomes super materialistic nowadays. Everyone wants to be famous or rich or that type of stuff, and people do it for the wrong reasons. I think just taking the time, if you truly want to get to know somebody, I think that is the biggest step. And if you're ever going to judge someone, always make sure that you know them first, and don't judge them wrongly. I think also that's a big part that people don't get when they hear that is don't judge them wrongly. I think that is also a big part.
Yeah, no, that's a beautiful message for sure. Before we close out, do you have any projects, current or upcoming, that you'd like to put on everybody's radar? And do you have any plans to return to horror in the near future?
Well, I just did something called Jesus Revolution. It is a movie. I'm not sure when it should be coming out, maybe later this year or early next year, but it is a beautiful, beautiful message, and it is such a beautiful film. The cinematography is beautiful. Make sure to go check that out once it drops. Once again, it's called Jesus Revolution. And I just did one other thing. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say it though, so I'm gonna say that. But that's all I have to say for now. Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome. Thank you so much for chatting with us, Jackson. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for chatting with me. I honestly had a blast talking with you guys. You guys had amazing questions. I had a blast with you guys, and thank you so much for interviewing me.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you. It was a blast. Have a good one, Jackson.
Bye.
All right. Bye.